Project 3. Innovative Design of Scooter. Task 2. Design of Wheel Standard Parts. Lecturer, Li Huachuan. Hello, students. In this class, we will learn the design of standard parts of scooter wheels. Through structural analysis, we know that in order to ensure the smooth rolling of wheels and the connection between axle frame and wheels, we also need to design two standard parts, rolling bearing and bolt. Therefore, in this class, we will use the reuse library of UG software to design standard parts. What is a reusable library? In simply, its function is similar to standard parts library, which is used to deal with commonly used or reused parts. When assembling, you can load the required standard parts from the reuse library without drawing the parts by yourself. A lot of repetitive work can be simplified. So, what is the significance of standard for design? To ensure something is straight, one needs to rely on a marking line. To draw a perfect circle, one needs to use a compass. In the spring and autumn annals, our ancestors have told us the importance of standards. Therefore, formulating standards is the key to solve problems. Standardization is the foundation of design and manufacture in mechanical manufacturing industry, which plays the role of link and bridge and can coordinate all links in the whole industry. It's not only accelerate the specialization level of enterprises, but also make the production modular and expanded. As a mechanical design engineer, you should know: standardization, serialization, and generalization are referred to as three transformations for short, which is a very important technical policy in China at present. Standardization is the key to improve efficiency and the foundation of continuous improvement. The selection logic of bearings and bolts for sliding wheel should be based on the following. Firstly, the pinhole of axle support is measured to obtain the selection basis of nut and bolt specifications, and then the inner diameter of wheel hub is measured to obtain the selection basis of bearing specifications. Next, we will open UG software and learn how to call standard parts based on reuse libraries. First, open the pedal wheel component assembly model. Before calling the reuse library, there is a very important operation, so please pay attention to it. Click Files, Utilities and User Defaults. Basic environment is reuse libraries. In the setting of reusable components, note, the option of saving directory for component group windows must be reset to save directory. Click Browse and select the folder where other parts of pulley are placed. That is to say, our standard parts and other parts of pulley must be placed in the same folder. And click on OK. The following settings must be made here. Click Apply and OK. Note, this setting requires reopening the UG software to take effect, so you need to close the UG software first and reopen it before you can start clicking on the reuse library. Before calling the standard parts, we first need to measure the relevant mating dimensions. Click Analysis, measure the distance. The type is diameter. The hole of axle holder is 8.2. Hub inner diameter is 22. And click on OK. Therefore, we can judge that the bearing we need to assemble has an outer diameter of 22 and an inner diameter of 8. while the bolt diameter is 8 and the nut has an inner diameter of 8. Click GB Standard Parts. First double-click the bearing. Select and double-click. Click Member Selection and press the left mouse button to drag the bearing into the drawing area. The inner diameter has just been measured by selecting 8 and the outer diameter is 22. Location selection is determined according to constraints, and click on OK. Click Auto Judge Center Axis. Select Center Line. Check Preview Component in Main window, and click on OK. Hide the axle holder and continue to add constraints. Then click Align, select Bearing End Face, Hub End Face and apply. Considering the running stability, the wheel adopts double bearing structure. Click the Reuse library again. Add the second bearing, inner diameter of 8. Select the center line and confirm. Click Assembly Constraints and Alignment for Azimuth. Select Bearing End Face and Hub End Face, then click on OK. Then add bolts and drag them into the drawing area. After measurement, we know that the bolt specification is M8. And what's the base length shall we choose? We need to measure the width of the shaft holder again. Show the shaft holder, measure the distance, and select the end face of the shaft holder as 30. Therefore, it is reasonable that the length of bolt main parameters should be greater than 30. We choose 40 and click on OK. Select the center line of the shaft support and the step surface of the shaft support. Then click on OK. Finally, add nuts. And confirm the main parameter M8 of nuts. Select the end face of the shaft support and then select the center line of the shaft support again. Okay, we found that there was an error in the placement of nuts. Click Distance again to change the distance to the thickness of the nut. Remeasure the thickness and distance of the nut. And select the thickness of the two end faces of the nut to be 6.8, so the distance is set to 6.8. Click on OK. We found some problems with the length of bolts through assembly. Click Assembly Navigator. Double-click bolts. Click Edit Reusable Components and set the length to 45. Then click on OK. Based on the reuse library, the operation of call and assembly for rolling bearings, bolts, nuts, and other standard parts are completed. Have you learned to call standard parts that meet the matching requirements based on reuse libraries? Please answer the following questions.